the first question the interview subject asks Oprah is, how did I do? And I think it's a superhuman thing to want recognition. The problem is when we need that recognition to feel good about ourselves, that we don't know who we are outside of applause. And, I always say ambition that is rooted in needing applause will always feel hollow. Because when your mood depends on whether someone texts you back, whether your boss approves, whether you win the award, whether your numbers go up, whether someone compliments you, you're living on a scoreboard. And scoreboards fluctuate.
Be clear about exactly what you want. I am a very well-connected person, and I hate when people come to me and say, can you help me get a job? Well, what do you want to do? Anything. Guess what? I am in HR. My background is HR, CHRO, run HR for some very large organizations. I've posted over 10,000 jobs in my HR career. That's not exaggeration. I have never posted a job with the title of anything. Right? Help make it easy for me to help you. So know exactly what it is that you want. And then here's the deal. Make yourself loan worthy. And what do I mean by that? When you ask someone for a recommendation or help, what you are asking them is to loan you their reputation. And those of us who have built a reputation, it is worth money in the bank for us, literal money in the bank. This is how we live our careers. If you are asking me to help you, you need to make sure that you are worthy of the loan that I'm giving you.
So what you all need to do right now is create what I call a yay folder. Like go into your inbox and create a folder and label it your yay folder, where anytime somebody says, great job, good work, congratulations, drag that email into your yay folder, because that effectively becomes the one place where you are collecting evidence of all your amazing work. That's it. If you get an email from like a client, and let's say your manager is not on that email, forward that email and just be like a quick like, hey, FYI, really happy to see this. Not that you're expecting a response, but you're just getting into their consciousness to be top of mind.
It's easier to create visibility outside of the room. And this is networking. Are you having conversations with those people before you're in the room? So I used to do something that my manager called like coalition building or consensus building, right? So behind the scenes, before I would go into a room where I wanted something, I'd have a conversation with almost everyone who was going to be in that room about what I wanted. And then when I got into the room, the consensus was already built. So when I spoke and raised my hand and tossed an idea out there, it wasn't new to anyone. And most importantly, there's always the naysayer. And in an organization, I see this in startups where everybody's in agreement and we're all excited about moving forward. We actually assign the naysayer role to someone. We need someone to challenge. We need someone to push back. In corporate, it's easy. That person already exists. I like to figure out who that naysayer is and get to know them and understand what they need. If I know I'm going to present something and Jim's going to be the person who's just like, okay, Naeemah, I hear what you're saying, but, right? I'm going to talk to Jim before the meeting. I'm going to talk to him about my idea. I'm going to ask him, like, what would you need to hear to know that this was going to be successful? And then when I present it to everyone else, Jim's feedback, his concerns are already included in my pitch. And I know that he's going to jump on and be like, that's actually a really great idea, Naeemah. And when the naysayer co-signs, it's a different energy in the room.
This season was about giving you the language for rooms that weren't built for you. Actual scripts, not just theory. You have to address it. You have to be clear and concise and contained. Here's a script I want you to use. If you made this mistake in front of your boss, you just say, hey, I want to flag something for you. I missed X, I missed blank. Here's what happened. Here's what I'm doing to fix it. Here's how I prevent it next time. Because senior leaders respect ownership. And if you shy away from it, it means you're not trying to have accountability or ownership. And you have to address it quickly because silence erodes trust more than error. I'm going to say that again. Silence erodes trust more than error. I want you to, in this moment of conflict with this other person, I want you to use a couple of elements of a structure. The first part is I want you to express intent. Sometimes when someone expresses intention or intent, it often softens the other person's ears to listen and to absorb. So, for example, my intent, hey, I want to bring something up. I want to clear the air because I care about you. We're not on opposite sides of this conflict. We're on the same side of the table trying to figure this out together.
I don't ever want to speak for someone's intent, but sometimes I think the intent of the criticism is where you can either let it go or think about it. I tend to think about every piece of criticism that comes to me because I'm on television. So people say, oh, your hair looks bad today, or have you gained weight? I mean, 100%. You should ignore those things. But the reality is, in my line of work, I do think, well, maybe I didn't. Maybe they're onto something. And I would never say change your appearance for anybody else. Oh my God. But I do think that if you can be ahead of someone's criticism or look at it with an objective lens, then sometimes it can benefit you. Use it to your advantage. Don't wallow in it. Take the time to grieve if you need to, but use it to your advantage. Criticism can be hurtful and terrible, and at the same time, criticism can be really powerful because it can give you a lens of how other people may see you in one moment in time. Is it a pattern? Can you change the pattern? And I think when you have some ability to be flexible and really listen to criticism, then I think that you can use it to your advantage.
And then there's the work that nobody hands you a script for, the work of reclaiming yourself from the inside.
The other thing you can do is something called the physiological sigh, and this resets the brain from the sympathetic mode to the parasympathetic mode. So this is 2 sharp inhalations and then 1 really long exhalation. So you go... Now, this activates the diaphragm, which is the only muscle internally that we have any direct control over. Through the diaphragm runs the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is the king and queen of the parasympathetic mode, which is rest and digest. This activation of the diaphragm helps to reset the parasympathetic mode. You're taking your body out of the sympathetic fight or flight response into the parasympathetic rest and digest response.
Once your body is back in the room, it's time to ask the people who see you clearly.
I emailed everyone I knew. I probably did 70 coffee chats in 30 days. That's too much. You don't need that much coffee. Like 12 is enough. But you go in and talk to people who've known you through different seasons of your life. And I asked them 3 questions. When have you seen me happiest? Ooh. What do you come to me for? Like, what is that moment you're like, I should see what Christina thinks about this. And where do I stand out against my peers?
And then once you've asked them, it's time to ask yourself.
If you're looking to re-nurture your voice, I'd offer 2 questions. The first question is, what do you think? As you're listening to this conversation, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Just notice. Because doing that repeatedly actually reminds you that you have thoughts of your own. Second question, what do I need? Listen to your body right now. What do you need? We so often aren't paying attention to our own thoughts or needs. So that is the re-nurturing of your sense of self, is simply, what do I think? What do I need? It's internal work that you can do that no one else even needs to know. But after you have increased awareness of what you think and what you need, it's hard then not to want to share or want to solve for them.
And it's a 3-part rewiring. Here's how you start. When you think about something, and the first step is called ask why. When you want something, I want you to pause. And I want you to ask yourself, do I want something because I'm trying to prove to the world I'm valuable and worthy? Am I proving something? Or is this expanding me? Is this something where I'm going to grow and stretch, and without anyone watching, it's something that's going to make a difference in my life or others, or really feel good? And that gets you to the second step, which is separating the desire from your identity in terms of how you see yourself. I want you to be able to say is, I want this, and whether it goes my way or not, I'm still worthy and valuable. And the third thing I want you to do is to build an internal scorecard. Instead of tracking applause, I want you to track alignment. So at the end of the day, ask, did I act with integrity? Did I stretch? Did I grow? Did I enjoy the process? Make yourself the metric. And when you're ready to turn that internal confidence outward, here's how to get the title that matches the work you're already doing.
The biggest mindset shift is don't apologize. Don't go in saying what you don't have.
Okay.
Show up knowing that this is where you intend to be. Job descriptions are crap. They actually are. They're not telling you the behaviors. They're telling you what's expected of you, the tasks, but they're not telling you who to be.
I think that's the error that I find with a lot of the women who I work with that are manager level. They think the work speaks for itself. But your reputation, your value, your offering within the company also has to speak, and it doesn't speak for itself. You have to speak for it. You have to speak through it. You have to find ways to do that. But one of the things I used to do is I like to write, right? I wrote a book. I used to like to write emails. So what I would do is at the end of every week, I would write an email on all the things that the team accomplished to give them credit as well and give them visibility. But in the end, it actually ended up giving me visibility, which I didn't realize when I first started that practice as a young manager. So I think there are ways to do it that feel more palatable to us, but we don't talk about it enough, so we don't know that there are other ways to do that.
Number one thing I want people to think about, where's the friction in your work? What is something, Lisa, that you don't like doing in your job today?
I don't like writing email copy.
Yeah. I mean, who would really like sending emails, right? So that's where you're going to start. Start with a friction point, something that you actually want to automate. Because here's something that's fascinating. If you go work for a big corporation today, what corporations are doing are automating the tasks that people actually want to do, the tasks that give us joy or that give us meaning. And so I want you to have agency over this tool and not being dictated what's going to happen to you. And by actually starting with a problem is the best thing that you can do and have it start writing your email copy.
I hope you loved this highlight reel of In Confidence. Season 5 is coming. I can't wait for you to share in all the work that we're doing. And until then, in the words of my 9-year-old self, I see you, I value you, and I believe in you. This is In Confidence.